Good morning, everyone, or whatever time of the day that this video finds you. We are dedicating today's podcast to the understanding of the use of what is required in and or drafting of a deed poll, and in what circumstances would it become necessary for you to approach an attorney to secure a deed poll on your behalf. Now, often we have found in circumstances where we have a name that we are no longer using, or we would have a name that we have started adopting but haven't formally had that change effected in any instrument. So the use of a deed poll allows you to add a name, remove a name, hyphenate a name, change the spelling of a name. And as you appreciate in West Indian societies, we have persons being referred to by a number of different names, and it creates a level of confusion when it comes to your various documents. So there may be a need for you to have this instrument drafted and prepared on your behalf so that you can formalize the use of a particular name to refer to you from a particular date going forward. So there are three circumstances or three declarations that are made in the deed poll instrument. First, of course, is that you're abandoning your former name. Secondly, is that you're using a new name from that particular date going forward, and it will be used at all times. And that you're requiring all persons to address you by this new name from that date henceforth. So one of the things in which we've seen people approach us and say, listen, we've been referred to by this name, we've stopped using that name since particular date, and we want to know what we need to do to be able to have a document that shows that from this date going forward, we're being referred to by this name. And those are the specific circumstances in which you would be requiring a deed poll to be effected on your behalf. According to the jurisdiction or the country in which this is done, it's normally attracts stamp duty and registration, because at the end of the process you would get a certified copy of that deed poll so that you can furnish this to whatever institutions to effect whatever changes you need to your documents. What do you need to provide your attorney with when you're actually having a deed poll drafted on your behalf? It includes normally obviously a setting out of what the old name is, which can normally be found either in your baptismal certificate, your immunization card. Then you would also provide them with a copy of your birth certificate, and also what is the new name you're wishing to be addressed by, a proof of address for yourself, and of course any documentary evidence that would assist them in understanding what the former name is and what the new name you would like to adopt is, so that they can properly draft the instrument on your behalf. As I stated above, or before rather, it would attract stamp duty or whatever the version of that is in your jurisdiction, to allow for it to be registered as with any deed. And then you would be provided with a certified copy, and then you could of course take that certified copy to whatever institution to ask them to make the relevant changes so that your documents are then brought into conformity, so that any reference to a particular name would understand that that name does in fact refer to you. As we would say, it's one and the same persons. So we are curious to hear your feedback. As I said, recently we've been having an uptick in a number of inquiries or persons asking for deed polls to be drafted on their behalf. And of course, it's all in an attempt to get all your business in order, or your affairs in order. So we are curious to hear your feedback on whether this was an aha moment for you, not knowing that having different names can cause some difficulty, and that you can actually bring all that into alignment by way of an instrument known as a deed poll. So we look forward to your feedback as usual, and thank you for continuing to follow our podcast. Take care, everyone.